Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me tonight for our book talk. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ms. Varela, and I am a high school English teacher who loves books. But enough about me, and let's get into the books that we have for today. So, for this evening, I'll be talking about two really cool books from two incredible authors who feature two really strong and powerful teen protagonists. Our first book is called Coraline, and this is by author Neil Gaiman, who's written other really good books like The Graveyard Book and The Ocean at the End of the Lane. Now, I know that the cover looks a little spooky, but the illustrations from Dave McKean are the best part of the book, and they really help set the mood of the story. So, speaking of the story, let's go ahead and let's get into that. So, as you can tell by the title of our book, our main protagonist is called Coraline. Now, Coraline is this spunky little girl who is so bored after moving into her new home and is tired of being ignored by her parents. So while all this is going on and they're moving into this new home, which is actually apartments, so they have a home and they split them into half. She discovers that there's this mysterious secret door in the middle of her living room, and all the adults keep ignoring her, telling her that it leads to nowhere, that it goes into the other apartment. Coraline, of course, knows that that's not true, and one night she decides to be really brave and actually go through that door to find out what's on the other side. Now, there's a pretty cool film adaptation of this book, but I personally think that the book is better. So, I would definitely recommend reading the book first and then checking out the movie. And again, this is Coraline by Neil Gaiman with illustrations by Dave McKean. All right, so let's go ahead and let's go on to our next book. So, our next book is going to be Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs. So, I know that most of you know this book by the live action movie that came out a couple years ago, but just like Coraline, the book is way better than the movie. Now, looking at the cover, you can see that there's some similarities. We do have some little spooky little girls here, but unlike Coraline, when you open up inside the book, you can see that there's a bunch more of these old vintage photographs. Some of them like this are kind of creepy, where we have a dog kid and we have a girl that's a contortionist. Now, these are all vintage photographs. Some of them were Photoshop and some of them weren't. But a lot of these photographs end up being our peculiar children in the novel. And again, they help set the mood for the book. Now, our main protagonist in the story is Jacob Portman. Jacob is a pretty normal kid in the beginning. He doesn't have that many friends, and he really likes to hang out with his grandfather. He has a very close bond to him. One night, though, his grandfather is unfortunately killed, and Jacob discovers this mysterious box of letters and pictures of weird children like the ones that we see and hear, as well as some letters from a woman named Miss Peregrine. So Jacob convinces his parents that in order for him to get over his grief of the loss of his grandfather, that he wants to go to the coast of Wales, which is in England, and he wants to travel to the island that his grandfather grew up in order for him to get closer to him and to also get over his grief. While he's there on the island, Jacob discovers that there's a time loop and he discovers the peculiar children. So that's all I'm going to say because I don't want to give away the plot. But this book was turned into a series, so this is the first one. We do have two other more books in this installment as well too. So if you really enjoy this one, I would definitely recommend picking those up as well too. Now, both of these books are available at your local public library as well as your local bookstore. So if either one of these two interested in you, then I would rush to either one of these locations to pick them up. So thank you again so much to listen to my book talk, and please make sure to look out for these two books in your local public library and bookstore.